Living on Belvin Street in San Marcos, Texas, particularly from the late 19th to early 20th centuries, symbolized wealth, social prestige, and civic prominence. Here's why. Belvin Street as San Marcos, Silk Stocking Row. Nickname: the area was known locally as the Silk Stocking District, a term used in many towns to denote the wealthiest residential areas, meaning this implied upper-class status. Residents were bankers, business owners, doctors, university faculty, and Masonic leaders. Dadao bad architectural grandeur. Homes along Belvin Street were custom built with architectural flourishes, Victorian, Classical Revival, Mediterranean, and Craftsman styles. These homes often had large porches, detailed woodwork, ionic columns, and formal gardens, distinguishing them from working-class areas. 3. Civic influence of residents. Many Belvin Street residents were leaders in San Marcos's political, educational, and economic life. Founders of banks and civic organizations, Texas State University professors, then Southwest Texas State Normal School, members of fraternal orders such as the Freemasons, Odd Fellows, and Eastern Star. Living here signified influence, education, and respectable lineage. 4. Association with institutions of power. Belvin Street bordered institutions like the San Marcos Masonic Lodge, churches, and schools. The area was central to the social fabric of elite San Marcos society, often hosting events, ceremonies, and political gatherings. 5. Historical recognition. The Belvin Street Historic District is listed on the National Register of Historic Places, preserving its legacy as a bastion of early 20th century elite life in Hays County. It remains a symbol of early urban elegance and the emergence of San Marcos as a regional cultural center. A summary: to live on Belvin Street during its heyday meant you were among San Marcos's most respected, wealthiest, and influential citizens. It symbolized social elevation, moral uprightness, and participation in the town's power structure, both secular and fraternal. Yes, the presence of the Masonic Lodge on Belvin Street likely enhanced the street's prominence, though Belvin was already developing as a prestigious address. Here's how the lodge's location reinforced the street's elite status. Sanayo, the Masonic Lodge as a power center. Freemasonry in 19th and early 20th century Texas was not just a fraternal order. It was a symbol of civic authority, moral uprightness, and elite networking. San Marcos Masonic Lodge, number 342, included many businessmen, politicians, judges, professors, and landowners. Having the lodge on Belvin meant that meetings of civic consequence and ritual leadership occurred right in the neighborhood, affirming it as a hub of local power. 2. Mutual reinforcement. Lodge plus neighborhood prestige. The lodge's purchase of the Grand Johnson residence, 1030 Belvin St., in 1937 solidified Belvin as a physical and symbolic stronghold of San Marcos's social elite. For Masons and their families, living nearby would have offered convenience, social signaling, and visibility. 3. Masonic ideals and neighborhood design. Masonic architecture often emphasizes order, symmetry, light, and moral geometry. These values resonated in the layout and construction of Belvin Street homes. The neighborhood's aesthetic harmony and civic-minded residents reflected Masonic ideals of community building and enlightenment. 4. Hidden influence, quiet symbolism. Even among non-Masons, proximity to the lodge would have implied alignment with Masonic respectability and values. Charity, fraternity, stability. In small towns, location conveyed identity, and living on the same street as the Masonic temple could subtly mark a family as being in the know or among the town's trusted insiders. 5. Historical parallels. Across Texas, when a Masonic lodge is located on a residential street, that street is often associated with the town's founding families, legal elite, and educated class, suggesting a broader cultural pattern. Conclusion: yes, living on Belvin Street carried prestige in its own right, but the location of the Masonic Lodge on the same street further amplified that prestige, making it a subtle but potent marker of elite affiliation, civic power, and fraternal influence in early San Marcos society